Previously on the Journey, Pastor JD here. Miss Brandy is here. Aaron and Chanel are here. And we have our guest, Emily. Yay. Hey, there she is. So excited to have Emily here with us this evening. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time.
Welcome back, JD.
Yeah, thank you. I survived China, and so I'm happy to regale any of you whenever you want to hear about it. It was a very fun trip. I am now better with chopsticks than I've ever been in my whole entire life. But yes. Yeah. All right. So it looks like everything is working okay. And so let's go ahead and get to our first clip, and then we'll get going.
And it's sad, but I've heard it said. People say, when they see someone like that, they're like, oh, they'll come back to earth. You can't live like that all the time. Just give them a little more time. They're just excited. After all, they are a new Christian. Like that's some kind of condition to have, a new Christian. When you were first in love with your husband or wife, if you're married, they could do no wrong in your eyes. You just wanted to be with them every second you could. It's kind of sad that changes over time. When you first fell in love with Jesus, you couldn't wait to spend time with him. You were just in love with him and his word. And can I just say it's sad that changes. We end up replacing passion with activity, emotion with commitment, and enthusiasm with intellect, and then we declare that to be maturity. And all too often we're proud of that maturity, aren't we?
More good stuff from Pastor Tim. So if you are not caught up with where we are in the sermons that a series that we're doing letters to the churches, which are the 7 letters at the beginning of the book of Revelation, not Revelations. John had one revelation. But it is about all of these 7 churches. And so we start with Ephesus. Excuse me, I'm going to die.
On your microphone.
We start with Ephesus, and so that is where Pastor Tim is talking about. So, talking about some first love stuff.
Yeah, and it's a like you said, a new series. And I personally kind of like I don't know if identified's the right word, but like I love the way that he related the relationship with Jesus to like your marriage or friendships or like just a relationship in general when it's new and it's exciting and you're trying to like, it's the new Christian condition.
Yeah, right, a condition.
Called it. And that just kind of made me. You realize like you call it maturity and it's like there's nothing wrong with being like madly in love and silly in love and like I liked that, honey.
Yeah, no, it's good. Emily, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people can relate to what he's saying when it comes to like the new Christian stuff. Like, I don't remember exactly where he goes next with that, but like when I think of new Christians, especially now, I feel like sometimes they're almost at an advantage. Like they're experiencing the word for the first time, so they get to have like, and they're at probably a better age for it too. Like if you're in your later 20s or early 20s or so on. Like I grew up in the church, so I feel like sometimes like the stories that I read are kind of dulled a little bit, and then I have to like reimagine them or like have to break it down in a new way to like get something new from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like what he said about it.
Yeah. No, I think that's really good, Emily, because you think about everybody has their own story, right? We all have a different background, a different way that we were, came to the Lord. And for some of us, I think Emily has that story. I think Brandy probably has that story where, and I do as well, even though I didn't believe for most of my life, where, I was raised in church. And so I never really did anything wrong. I never had, so these people who have these like miracle encounters with Jesus that changed their life completely around, some of us just kind of faded into being a Christian because we were already here, right? And so that was, this is what my parents did and this is what I do. And, so now I'm just a Christian.
Yeah.
So Aaron, any thoughts?
Just at the end of that, he gives a worldly definition of maturity. And I appreciated that definition because it isn't. Jesus himself said, unless you have faith like a child, which could also imply the mentality, not necessarily a mentality, but the faith like and the attitude towards Jesus with full trust, willingness to accept whatever he says. Whereas Pastor Tim's definition was very worldly from a standpoint of, you have all this knowledge, you have all these experiences, you have this and this. I can't remember the whole list, but I felt it was a good breakdown for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you can be all those things and be a terrible Christian.
Right.
Never hear from Jesus, have a terrible prayer life,
Yeah.
never read the Bible, but have all this head knowledge. Or
Right.
whatever was in that list of things. You do all the good things, show up to church, do all these things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't save you.
Right. Well, and something that shows that is a lot of atheists actually have a lot of biblical knowledge. Like, they're able to debate the Bible with Christians, like, so well.
Yeah.
And they just don't put anything that's in there, like, into action in their day-to-day lives. They're not actually living it out. So, yeah, like, blind trust when it comes to, like, having childlike faith, I feel like is really important. And also, like, really challenging, difficult
Oh,
to,
yeah,
like,
I'm not saying that's an easy thing at
maintain.
all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But
Yeah.
it's interesting. It is easy for kids. Like, Maggie's just getting to this age where she's starting to, like, ask more questions about, well, she has nightmares a lot. So, like, well, why isn't Jesus helping my nightmares, or, like, things like that? And, like, it just puts it in perspective. Before she had this question, like, she just trusted completely that, he would solve everything. And now she's kind of having a harder time with it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brandy, did you have any thoughts on that real quick?
No.
No, I love you.
I mean, I do, but no.
Oh, no, please. I mean,
Say it.
yeah, please say it.
It doesn't really go with anything that we're talking about.
Well, that's part of the show.
No.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
Strong woman.
yeah. I do want to remind you all that you are that if you want to join us in chat, Brandy has got it up, is monitoring. So please join in the conversation if you hear something that you want to chime in on and join with us. One thing that I wanted to talk about here that I think about is how when we talk about this first love kind of mentality, it's so easy at the beginning because you just want whatever God has, right? So, like, when you first give your heart to the Lord, it's like, okay, well, what? Oh, they're doing small group? Okay, I want to do small groups. Oh, we're doing a prayer and worship night? Okay, I don't really know what that is, but I want to come and do it, right? And you just start diving in and taking part. But then you get to a point where, is it dead?
I need 2 batteries, not just one.
Put one of the other ones back in it and see if it brings it back. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. As always something happens. But I think it's interesting how that fades over time. We have solved the technical difficulties for now. I think it's interesting how that slowly degrades and fades, where you just get into the everyday Christianese walk, and the things that were super important, they just kind of start to just drift and slide. And it happens all too often.
Would you say it's a reprioritization of what's important to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just get, I think what tends to happen to people is that they just get numb. You start going through the motions for too long. You start seeing church where it becomes more religion than relationship, and slowly over time this fire that you have, it happens to almost every Christian. Everybody goes through this, which is why God calls the Ephesian church to, hey man, what about when you first loved me? Like, yeah, you established all the programs and you have all the good things going for you, and I love what you're doing. Your Sunday services are phenomenal. That's what he's saying in the letter. But why have you forgotten to hang out with me? Why have you forgotten that you love me? And that happens to all of us. And so I think one of the main things that you have to do to combat that is to just be cognizant of, okay, if I'm not being filled up, it's pouring out all the time. We're always kind of degrading. I always say that you're always moving one way or the other, right? You're either falling more in love with Jesus or you're going the other direction. And it's hard to think like that. Like, well, can't I just, be firm in no, you're kind of moving always. And so I think that it has to be a conscious effort. Mm-hmm. Paul recognized that, right? I pick up my cross and I die daily, right? Like that was what he said. Like I have to be intentional about it every single day, or I start to go the opposite direction. And I think for so many of us, it's easy to just get in the motion.
Yeah. I think some of it is, and I experienced this recently, just being in the church my whole life, and I feel like I started to overcomplicate things a lot. So I feel like, yes, you are always moving in one direction, but I feel like my millennial heart can't help but go back to Slow Fade.
Yeah.
Slow Fade by Casting Crowns. And that song, I feel like, sums it up really well. Like, we don't always realize that we're, like, slipping into our old habits. I actually think that a lot of times when people have, like, a big come to Christ moment, it's because they have a big come to Christ circumstance.
Yeah.
And when it's great, that God draws near to us whenever we go through, like, suffering. At the same time, I think that it can be really easy to have that big moment, and then it's like, well, all these other, like, subsequent moments become harder to bring to God, because it's like, well, it's just this, it's just this small thing that's going on. Like, oh, it's just this little feeling I have. Mm-hmm. But really what God wants is for us to actually talk to him about everything.
Right.
And even the small things to us are big things to God, and really could be part of a bigger plan that he has, and we just don't know it.
Yeah, that's so good. All right. Well, let's keep on trucking, and we'll pull up another podcast clip, and I'll search the room and see if there are any more batteries.
Rather than being a book that it was meant to be, it's been used for false prophecy and even for fear. Now, it is a prophetic book. It is an apocalyptic book. It's prophetic in terms that it tells us about things that are to come. And it's apocalyptic. In other words, apocalypse, maybe that's a scary term, but it really just means to reveal. And so it reveals to us, it pulls back the curtain on some things that will happen in the future. So it's prophetic and apocalyptic, but it was never meant to make us afraid. It was never meant to create some sort of unhealthy fascination with end times. It was never meant for that. The book of Revelation is a book that is meant to center us once more on the person of Jesus. That's the purpose of the book of Revelation, to center us once more on the person of Jesus, who is our Savior, our Redeemer, and our King. And so
I am so glad that he did that. So, like, that particular clip was before the last one. So, like, in the actual order of the sermon. And I don't know, like, when at the beginning of church, people get up and they move around and they go to the bathroom, like, between worship and the start of your service. Mm-hmm. And so I was hoping that everyone got a chance to hear that. So I'm glad that was in the podcast this week, because I think for so long the book of Revelation has been looked at as something to be afraid of.
Right.
And, like, we do not serve a God of fear. So I don't know how and why and all of that ever started, but I love that he kind of came back to this and really clarified what the point was.
Oh yeah, that's good. Why do we think that? While we're here in the room together, why does the book of Revelation really? That is kind of what, if most people think about when they think of a book that incites fear, that is one of those books that really makes people nervous. About our faith. Why do we think the book of Revelation's like that? Anybody? Any thoughts?
I think it has a lot to do with your heart. I think that even, especially recently, I don't know if you guys knew, but apparently the rapture's supposed to happen soon.
Is it today?
Today, yeah, you missed.
I heard today.
Yeah,
I
it's supposed to be
heard
today.
tomorrow.
So if you were raptured,
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
But with that said, like, I saw a lot of concern and fear on social media this past week. I saw one lady crying because she only has a few days left with her kids. And I'm just like, whoa, like, let's back up a little bit, because as a kid, yes. As a kid, I definitely felt fear.
Yeah.
We used to play practical jokes on each other that the rapture happened. Lay
Yeah.
out our clothes.
Right.
My cousin had a trumpet. She blew the trumpet. Terrified our siblings, for sure.
Or watch the 70s movies.
Yeah, right. Oh, goodness.
And then, like, just to bring it back to something like more than just even culturally, I think like we've had. Oh shoot! I totally lost my train of thought on it, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like a control thing or just I got it back. Sorry. The end times. Like, people are like, what happens next? Like, what is after this? It's the last book. It's the end of the book. Like, we got to think of some dramatic ending, because that's how books end. They're supposed to be dramatic when they end. And so
The
I
one
don't,
Brandy.
I don't know, not the one that Brandy just finished. We aren't going to go there.
Yeah.
But
That one just ended.
just ended. There's books like that too, though. So, but I don't know.
I heard something recently, and I haven't verified it yet. I usually don't say something about something unless I've had the chance to verify it, but I heard somebody recently talking about this topic. And again, I don't have the facts, like, I can't verify the facts, but it was said that we've taught that ideology for the last 200 years or so, basically to scare people into salvation.
Yeah.
Essentially,
That
is what
was-
it was.
that was
because
the tactic, yeah.
it's apparently been misinterpreted. Lots of things are wrong about it, and a couple guys, and I think it was like the mid 1800s, latched onto this idea and just started spreading it. And because you could pack a church even back then with, hey, if you don't
Fear.
accept Jesus, you're going to go burn.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, even you go back to the Protestant preachers, and I think it was John Smith, not the Mormon guy. There was another Protestant preacher back in the Puritan days, and that was his, sinners in the hands of an angry God.
Yeah.
That was the big
But I think
famous
it's been
sermon,
I
right?
think it's been a fear mongering,
yeah.
whether it's been intended or not.
Right.
Early on, I think it did.
Yeah.
But again, I don't have the fact on that
Sure.
particular historic moment. But if that's true, then, that's a place to reevaluate that
Right.
entire belief structure on the back end of that. Yes, Jesus is coming. Yes, we have an eternity with him. If you call on Jesus as Lord, those things are true. But the whole, all that just needs to be reexamined from maybe a fresh lens.
Because, I mean, like, and even if the end times do go as scary as what people are predicting, or thinking or whatever, interpreting them to be, it's like, if you serve God in one way, form or fashion, he will take care of you through it all. And there's nothing to really be afraid of. So even if you're like, well, if I'm destroyed, then I'm with God. If I going through it, then I have God with me. So
That's right, Paul. That's what he said.
so there you go.
Quoting
So-
some scripture.
But yeah, so like I don't know. I just don't think there's anything to be afraid of. And so like, I don't think we need to stockpile anything. I don't think we need to get our bomb shelters ready. I don't, I mean, nothing wrong with like just being prepared in general for general, natural disaster emergencies. But like, I don't think we need to like look at it as that's God's plan for us is
Yeah.
to be that way. I don't,
Right.
yeah.
I also saw something recently. Someone was talking about how the Bible explicitly says no one knows the day
There
or
you go.
hour.
Right.
And someone actually pointed out, and I never thought about it this way, but if someone is using that, like, this is when it's happening exactly, that's a false prophet.
Right.
And, like, I don't know why. I mean, yeah, I guess I thought that to a degree, but not in those words. But it's true. And I think spiritual manipulation has
It's a
been
thing.
used for a very long time, regardless of how it started. Like, Revelation has definitely been
Yeah.
the main thing used for spiritual manipulation.
Well, I think it's the one book that really kind of veers into the supernatural, maybe more than most of the others, right? You've got a lot of imagery. You have a lot of, four horsemen of the apocalypse, which
Yeah.
is something that, people can't fathom and they don't understand that.
Well, yeah, John didn't know anything what he was seeing. He was trying
He's
to
just trying
Right.
to do his
his
best.
time.
Yeah.
And I think that may be the key, is that one of the reasons why people are so afraid of this book, or it incites fear in people's minds, is twofold, in my opinion. One is because everything else that happens in the Bible, even the hyper miraculous, is still something that you could see happen and you can understand. So like Elijah calling down fire from heaven. Okay, I know what fire is. I know where heaven is. I know the altar that he built. I could, even though that's crazy that happened, I can visualize that. That's cool, or Jesus walking on water. I know what water is. I know you're not supposed to be able to walk on top of it, but I believe in Jesus and I believe that he could do that. Okay, I can put all of that together. A 7-headed hydra that has, the queen of
Right.
Jezebel in the middle, and the,
Yeah.
all the imagery that goes along with that. Oh, wow.
Right.
We're in a whole new world now. I can't imagine that.
Right.
So there's that, but then there's the other huge piece of the unknown, I think, that just scares us, because we love the finite, right? The things that we can grasp onto. And I'm with you, Chanel. I love, the reason why I wanted to include this clip is because I love that our pastor tried to quell some of that fear by saying, the Bible is a book of hope.
Right.
That's the whole purpose for it to be here. So there wouldn't be a whole chapter. It's not a horror tale at the end of the book, right? Like, we're not going in a totally different genre just to wrap things up. Like, God's plan is the same all the way through the whole entire book. And he's trying to give us a glimpse into the ending by letting you know that you win. If you stick with me, you get to win. That's the point of the book of Revelation.
Right.
And yet, instead, we've turned it into this gaslighting book of fear. Brandy, you want to say something?
Nope, because you took mine.
Wow.
We're so
So in
connected.
sync.
That's not the way I was going to explain it, but
Okay.
it's the same thing.
Well, then I'll let you go first next time, so you can, so I can hear your explanation. It would have been better than mine,
For sure.
for sure. Yeah.
I don't think you can ding that.
That's what the. Oh no. Yeah. Those are dingable. All right. Let's keep on trucking. Then that was really good. And let's look at the next clip.
Listen, our outward response to God is a clear clue on what's going on in our hearts. I always worry when I see someone here on a Sunday morning who has become less involved in worship than they once were. If you were ever more excited about worshiping God than you are right now, that's a warning sign. It's a red flag. And I know you can say, well, that's just not my personality. That's okay. I'm not just talking about the outward thing, when we raise our hands, when we dance, when we sing. But can I ask you a question? Are you engaged? Are you engaged at a heart level? Are you connecting with God in your worship? Are you passionately in love and thankful to Him? Because if you're worshiping less, that could be a red flag.
All right. Who would like to dive in on this topic?
Brandy?
Oh yeah, we're supposed to let Brandy go first.
I think that you have to be really careful when you're talking about seeing how other people are worshiping, because it is definitely a heart thing. And worship styles, especially for people like us who have been in church for 20, 30, whatever years, worship styles change. Music changes. I mean, music that we listened to when we were in youth group was much different than what we have now.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot easier to worship to. What we have now is more on the praise side, but so you have to be careful and not judge other people, but at the same time, I think it's good guidelines for you to ask yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, am I engaging more or less? And it's not just in church, it's at home, outside, you know, it's got to be a way of life. It can't just be
Right.
I come in on
That's
Sunday
good.
and I worship on Sunday, because it's not going to cover it.
No, I agree 100% with everything that you just said. And like, we talk a lot about the heart, like, that it's a heart thing, and it's about, the way, you're expressing that. And I also think there's a spectrum too. So like and I love that he had a list, and obviously that was just the first thing he had on his
Yeah.
list. So like just because I'm coming in and I'm having a rough day and I'm struggling to engage worship doesn't mean that like my relationship with Christ is completely diminished.
Yep. That's right.
And so like, but if we're looking at like all the red flags, like that might be a red flag if I've also got a bunch of other red flags.
Right.
So, but I love that he kind of pointed out like, hey, but I think we have a really great pastor that'll come in and check on you. Like, hey, I noticed you seem to be struggling this morning. How you doing?
Yeah.
And he knows his people enough to be able to
Right.
step up and say that.
And you really need people in your life more than just your pastor.
Yeah.
There is a lot of, Pastor Tim is a great guy, but I heard it said one time that using this idea of Lego connections, right? That you only have so many. Each of us only have so many connection points, and then eventually you can't connect to anything else, right? Some people are that big, long 100-piece Lego, like the grass they used to give you.
Yeah.
That was. Some people are that, they can make tons and tons of connections, but others of us are that little square.
Stud.
The individual stud. I get this one connection.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have more than one.
Yeah.
But you need to have lots of people in your life who know you well enough to know. I think to Brandy's point, okay, this isn't just I'm not feeling it today. I think that maybe that was more what Chanel said. Since I didn't lift my hands, I don't need somebody over, oh goodness, are you not worshiping today? Okay, well, maybe I just don't feel like lifting my hands.
I just don't want to be touched by that.
Yeah, right. But really someone who knows you well enough to be able to tell by your body language and your words that, hey, you want to go talk? Like, you're not doing so hot. I can tell. Something's different. And that's what I think we're really looking for when we're being checked by somebody that actually cares about us.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? Aaron, Emily? No?
Yeah, I mean, you and I have talked about this before, because it's like the main. I've been on the worship team for so long now, and that's the one thing. If you look at Chanel on the worship team, I love watching Chanel.
Oh, I do too.
Because she just is such a positive light up there, and like, you just worship, you're just yourself, and I just love how you worship. I wish. I wish I was like that.
This said from someone who has an amazing smile.
Yeah.
But
I get very focused. And like, I think everyone's focus looks completely different.
Yep.
Yeah,
When
totally.
I get very focused and I'm up there, it's like I'm a lot more serious. And like, I think that some people, they praise with a smile on their face, and some people, they don't. And I think that's okay. Like you said, it's a personal question that I think you have to ask. I do think it's important to have people like alongside you to, ask if you're okay, or say they're noticing things. But I think it would be a lot more powerful if they just prayed for you instead. Like first and foremost, instead of immediately jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, I get you.
You can
Yeah.
know someone. Like, how long have you known me? And you still sometimes every now and then will be like, smile. And I'm like, that makes me not want to.
Yes, Emily has told me many times that me telling her to raise her hands automatically makes her not want to raise her hands.
But I do sometimes.
You do.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that the other thing that I think is really important, other than Aaron, who I think does have the voice of an angel, but I've never heard it.
He does.
Everyone in this room has been on the worship team with me for a number of years, and one of the things that we certainly notice as worship leaders to a church is that sometimes, man, you really feel all alone up there, like nobody's worshiping. And we can see that. And again, like Brandy said, sometimes, it's, there's no outward. But there's more than that. Like, you can tell because of what we're trying to do and trying to, usher people into the throne room of God, you can really get a feeling that, nobody's checked in today. Like, it's just us. And I've had to turn around, I'm sure all of these girls can remember different times where I said, hey, you know what? If nobody worships in here today, we're going to.
Yeah.
And so, and sometimes it's been pulling teeth to get through those services. But, that's, I think, what Pastor Tim is talking about, where you really have to be self-introspective, and really kind of,
Yeah.
okay, am I, if I worshiped, because you know your heart, right? You know if you've worshiped harder or stronger or faster or whatever the right adjective is to throw into worship. You know if you've done that better in the past than what you're doing today, and that really needs to be examined.
Yeah.
Always. Okay, so with all of that, we are going to do our favorite game in the whole entire universe. We are going to get to know Emily Brumback a little bit better. And bring out the dunk tank. No.
Oh no, I can't swim.
So we're going to ask you some rapid fire questions. You take as long as you want to answer, but we're going to have them right on the heels of each other. And we'll see what you can teach us about you.
Okay.
So who would like to go first? Anybody?
I can go first.
Do it.
All right. What is something you cook really well? I'm always looking for recipes and things.
Well, I feel like I have to give mention to Mommy's special spaghetti.
Ooh.
This is hi Maggie. She wanted me to say hi. Hi Maggie. And Desert and Penny. Hi. She is obsessed with my spaghetti, and I cannot stress this enough. It is the most mediocre, just like Hoosier spaghetti. Like, it's nothing crazy. I mean, I know how to season food.
Yeah.
Like, it's like canned or like jarred spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hamburger? Do you put hamburger in?
Hamburger, yes, yes. And
do you
then
use a special brand of sauce? Is there one that
I
your
do,
go-to?
and I have to use this, or Maggie does notice. So maybe there's something to it. Maybe I shouldn't divulge this information. I
Dun,
don't
dun,
know.
dun.
No, I'm going to. 'Cause I'm not a gatekeeper. It's the Great Value one. It's like the traditional.
Traditional
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like the
marinara or-
Prego.
But if you
one.
buy if you buy ragu, she knows right away. Right.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So probably that, and we just do like Colby Jack or like Fiesta blend cheese
Yeah.
on top. We always
Yeah.
do cheese with
I love it.
butter and bread or Texas toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably, I'd say that.
There we
Very
go.
good.
Easy too.
I like. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome. Aaron?
How do you usually handle challenges or setbacks?
Ooh.
Wow, talk about different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
How's your cooking? How do you handle?
Well, you know, sometimes,
also your character.
Mom, this food sucks, you know? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a setback, right?
I mean, it depends on what the setback or challenge is. Like, I do think that it takes me a while. I'm a very stubborn person. JD, don't laugh. Because he knows I'm stubborn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm a very stubborn person, and sometimes it takes a lot of, like, internal prodding to, like, get me to make a move with something. So, but these days, I'll say prayer has definitely, like, been, like, a highlight for me more recently. Like, I don't feel like my prayer life was really ever that great. Like, but like I mentioned earlier, I stopped going to God for the little things.
Yeah.
And I've been a lot better about that. So prayer, and I research a lot. I I Google a whole lot. So if it's something like practical, I find out everything I can possibly ever know about that subject. I'm a wealth of information.
Bring on Jeopardy.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Okay.
Love it.
Do you collect anything?
Besides personalities, or
Ooh, wow. It ain't that kind of couch, sweetheart.
Might be interesting, though.
I mean, collect is such a strong word.
Something you have
So she must collect a lot.
Collect hobbies.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of crafting.
Yeah.
You can
You're very
consider
artistic.
supplies collecting. But
Definitely.
like I used to collect buttons, like vintage buttons, but
Yeah.
then I started feeling weird about it.
Really?
Because some of them I was just like, this is just a regular button. And like, it doesn't need to be here. And then I realized that special buttons they're just like they're mass manufactured buttons. So like, what am I collecting? Anyone can get these. So there just wasn't much to it. But yeah, hobbies and supplies
Yeah.
and personalities.
Oops. That may be my favorite answer to that question.
Not up here, you guys. I mean, like, I act different when I'm with different people. I can't help it.
Are you an Enneagram 3? Look that up. I bet you are.
I'm a 4, being 5.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay, so
yes. And I'm an
Sorry.
INFJ.
It wasn't my turn to ask.
Myers-Briggs.
No, you're
Yeah.
good. You're INFJ?
Yes.
I'm an
Guess what I am.
INTJ.
You are definitely an E. No.
TGI Friday.
INFJ.
Aw.
I'm an
Are you
INFJ. I really
we're
am.
We're only like 7% of the population, I
Yep.
think. So we're special.
Yep, super rare. I'm actually an introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
Because I'm
an
right on the.
ambivert.
Yep. All right.
And things like that, yeah.
There we go. See, that couch is good for all kinds of things. We're learning. All right, Brandy, go ahead.
What is something on your bucket list?
If you asked me a few months ago, it'd be to shave my head, but I've worked myself off of that.
It could still be on the list. It's just
No,
Gotta
I'm not
move
gonna do
down.
that. I used to want to do that because I was like, I feel like my hair is like such a security blanket for me. It makes me feel beautiful, and I just like don't want to be like holding on to that. But then I was like, you know what? I don't want to anymore. I'll keep my security blanket, and I don't think anyone wants to see that.
You go,
honestly.
Linus.
But we really want to go to Japan. That's a big
Nice.
one for us. We want to go to Japan. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest one at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't have a
with
lot
kids
of-
or without kids?
with kids. Yeah, we want to go for a month, so
Oh,
that'd be
cool.
Yeah.
able to actually see everything. And I
Yeah.
feel like I couldn't be away from my kids that long.
No. Yeah.
And it's such a rich culture. I'd want them to experience it too.
Aw, what a good mom.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I don't think I would answer that way. That's such a great thing to say. Leave them kids
Our
at
kids
home.
are older too.
Yeah, they wouldn't appreciate. Actually, our kids have been to Japan. So,
Or, yeah.
anyways, all right.
What's something you've learned recently?
Oh, so much.
Other than JD's an INFJ, but
I'd say that.
Yeah, you can't say Jesus to any of the
Yeah,
answers to the
yeah,
question. We forgot to throw that up there.
that's
Oh,
all right.
I mean, no.
What's been the latest obsession that you've just learned everything about?
I really been into travel journals.
Cool.
I've always wanted to journal more, and my grandma, she always kept journals, and she has dementia now, so she doesn't really talk too much. And but she gave my older sister permission to read her journals, and it was just like, I don't know, just like reading some of the things in there. I was just like, man, like I knew a lot of it, but seeing it in her writing and the way that
Yeah.
she like used to speak, like I want to give my kids that.
Yeah.
And it's a little scary, I'm not gonna lie, but I never could stick with journaling for some reason. I think that I would get a journal and I'd be like, this is for this, and then I would use one page of that, and then it was like, well, now I
ruined
can't
it.
use it for anything
Yeah.
else, and it's like the whole journal's just empty. But travel journals is like smaller notebooks, and they're a lot less expensive. They're cahiers, which are like, if you've read some like Moleskine brands, they're just small staple bound.
Okay.
And I have it with me actually, but should I show it?
Why
Should I show
not?
You can do it.
Go
Yeah.
for it, yeah. Why not?
It's my time.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
show you guys. So it has an outer part, and you can reuse this for life, and then elastics in here,
Okay.
so you can change these out. When you fill one up, you can change it out.
Oh.
And you can have
So-
like different subjects, like
Yep.
you can say like about my family or
Yep.
about my work or about housekeeping
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
that's cool.
Gotcha.
It
That's
doesn't-
so cool.
I don't feel tied down to anything.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot easier for me to maintain it. So that's been the most recent thing. I've finally found a system that actually will work. So hopefully my kids like what I have to say.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's so cool.
It's risky business. My thought, I'm an enigma.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's beautiful.
It's going to have some concerning things in there, I think, and they're going to be like,
Mom.
but you know, that's just part of being a person. Like,
That's
you
right.
I have depth. What can I say?
That's right.
I like it. Go for it, Aaron.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be? Doesn't matter.
Historical figure.
Oh, it does matter. It can't be Jesus.
It can't be Jesus.
Yeah.
But alive or dead, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
From the beginning to now.
I'm going to say this because we just have been going through this book, and I feel like they would have a lot to say. But Job.
Oh.
I think that Job would have. Also, Job had a very close relationship with God. So, if I can't choose Jesus, I'm going to
enough.
choose someone that maybe knows the heart of Jesus very well. And I think that we also are in a kind of a rough season of our life too. So I think Job would be able to
Yeah.
give a lot of wisdom to us. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Because we've already done so much food. We're not going to go food anymore. What is your dream vehicle and why?
What?
Do women have dream vehicles? I mean, Brandy did, so
Did I know?
the Jeep was a dream.
No, that was your dream.
No.
And then we got it, and I love it. But
There you
before
go.
we owned it, I didn't ever dream of owning one.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was your thing. Okay.
It doesn't have to be a car.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's true. It could be a plane, or it could be a yacht,
boat.
or
I don't do boats.
she's like,
Guys, I can't swim.
it's the boat.
I've sunk those things before. I'm not doing that again. No, I used to always want a Volkswagen van.
Oh,
Like growing
okay.
up, but I'm gonna say like if money was no object.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Like if I could find all the parts I needed, if it never like had any like issues I would have to deal with, it'd be that. Because I think those look so cool, and they're big too, and like you could fit a lot of things in there. And I have things, you know,
Yeah.
that I want to fit in a van like that.
They have a new one.
Do they?
Do they?
It's electric.
And you
Came
can
out this year.
Wow.
and you can hunt
wow.
ghosts in them. Wasn't that
Why
the
not?
Scooby
Mystery
Doo
Machine?
mystery machine? Wasn't it
Yeah.
a
Well, I don't know
Volkswagen?
about that, but you, know,
okay.
Interesting.
you can pray the Holy Spirit into it, I suppose. Pray for it with the Holy Spirit there.
Jesus can't be the answer. Holy
I didn't
Spirit.
say Jesus.
Close enough. It's close enough. They're 3 in 1. Come on.
The thing is, I feel like I saw that recently, but I thought that it was like
Conceptual.
yes.
I've actually seen them on the road.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I have
They're
not.
there. Look it up.
Okay,
Become
I'm gonna start a
obsessed.
GoFundMe tonight.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, like 40 or 50 G's.
Help Emily out to fulfill her dream. All right, Brandy, one more question.
What is the next thing in life that you're looking forward to?
Oh! Don't say mom spaghetti or whatever.
I am making it soon. It's on my list. I don't think I ever really have one, to be honest. I'm a very
Be
I
present.
know I don't always seem like that, but I'm a very go with the flow person. So I take things as they come. I try not to look too far ahead, because I just feel like it leads to disappointment.
No big milestones, marriage, kids.
I mean, we have a vacation coming up next month, and me and
There
Kenny
you go.
haven't gone on vacation since our honeymoon. So,
That's
Oh,
exciting.
that's kind of
Yeah.
big, yeah.
but it is a whole family vacation.
still.
literally all my siblings, all the kids, and I'm a little scared.
Are you taking a cruise?
No, I would though. I know that doesn't make sense.
That makes sense. You know a cruise is on a ship, right?
yes,
But it's
I
a
know.
big ship.
But it's a big ship, and like, yeah, I would.
It
do
is
that.
different.
We actually talked
Yeah.
about doing that initially, like years ago. But we're going to Tennessee, near Gatlinburg.
That'll be fun.
Huge
Yeah.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
So
We
you
did
could just
that. That was
stay in
fun.
there. Honestly, it has so many.
Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Lots
We'll
of good
see.
stuff. Well, it depends on what you want, right? Gatlinburg's the old antique stuff, and then Pigeon Forge is the newer.
I feel like it's all right there in the same area.
Yeah, they're kind of melding
Right next
into
to
each
each
other.
other.
There's
Yeah.
Go to the big
yeah.
knife store right before you leave the exit, you know. You
No,
got
they
the
have-
Buc-ee's on the hill, and you got a big old knife store.
I do want to go to
Right before you
Buc-ee's.
leave.
They have the Trump stores down there too.
Oh,
A
do
lot
they?
of those.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's fine.
Moving on. Next
moving on.
clip. I'm ready.
All right, let's check out the next clip.
There is no one worthy of your worship other than God himself. And in some ways, it's sad I have to say that out loud. There's no one, no human on this earth, past or present or future, who is worthy of your worship than God himself. Church in Smyrna, they refused to worship Roman gods. They refused to bring a sacrifice or an offering to the Roman emperor. Ancient Rome and the Romans there, like the Greeks before them, they worshiped many gods. And when Rome would conquer a city or nation or tribe, they would assimilate them into the empire. And typically they could continue worshiping their own gods, but were expected to adopt the Roman ones too. And of course, Christians committed to just worshiping one God, they refused the pagan worship, thereby becoming the target of persecution.
All right, so we told you we were talking about some history, so let's dive into some history of Smyrna, which we love history here
We do
on
love
this
history
show.
here.
So
I was gonna say, like, when he first started talking about it, I'm like, man, it was such a violent time. Like, you know, like talked about
Last
like
week.
what?
During the Roman Empire.
during the Roman.
No. I mean, he ain't wrong. But anyways,
Let me finish because he's actually not wrong.
Yeah.
So like, but like, you know, but really though, in the Roman Empire, it's like the Colosseum is like Christians were sacrificed as entertainment, and like it was just so physically violent. But like, and granted, we don't have a Colosseum, but I feel like we do sacrifice people so much, you know, theoretically or
yeah, it's not
metaphorically,
always, yeah.
in just what they say, and like people are literally like, you could just say one thing wrong or like put
Not
one
wrong, but somebody who's going to disagree with.
or someone's well, and yeah, if someone disagrees with you, or you know, maybe you just didn't say it in the right tone. I mean, like there's just all kinds of things that people just, you immediately are sacrificed.
Sure, you
like,
get canceled.
you
Yeah.
get canceled, or you get like, and it's just like, goodness, just we're not all gonna agree. And now, granted, like obviously, people that are in the public light, they probably need to be. We're in the public light here, and probably need to be a little bit more careful about what you say. But at the same time, I still think there's a place for grace. Is there? Okay, so. But I don't know.
Absolutely.
But would I say that if somebody I disagree with was getting canceled, and I'd be like, good, I'm so glad they got canceled, you know? And because that has happened here recently, when
Right.
someone I disagreed with was canceled, and I didn't, I was actually really, really proud of myself. I didn't have that reaction. I
Yeah.
wasn't like, you know, shun them and whatever, because I also thought, you know, what if somebody I agreed with was canceled?
Right.
You know, and we talk a lot, especially in this country, about freedom of speech and expression, and I don't know, I just feel like we need to not necessarily like adopt other people's views, but it's not, we're not here to judge them.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Well, we've lost the art of debate.
yes,
As a culture. You know, in the political climate that we're in right now, you know, people can't. The two party system is failing us, and
It is.
they can't even speak to each other. You know, I don't care who you're for.
right,
It's a constant struggle. You know, and obviously you know, depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching this 2 years from now or something like that, and you happen upon this episode, you know, this is right after the Charlie Kirk assassination thing happened. And then in the wake of that, we watched Jimmy Kimmel's show get shut down for 2 or 3 days. And I think the saddest thing that came out of that is that is not the response that I think Charlie Kirk would have wanted.
Right.
agreed.
Is I think that he would have been like, no, his opinion is valid. His opinion matters. And I want his differing voice because that's how you dialogue.
And that's what he wanted.
And- yeah.
That was his platform, was just trying to get people that disagreed to be okay to talk about
Yeah.
why they disagree.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't have to agree at the end of it. Like he was
Right.
always okay with that.
Sure.
So anyway.
And yeah, and so, you know, but again, you know, even bringing that topic up, you know, I know, you know, everybody's like, should we even say it? You know, because we don't really have any fear of those things. Aaron has so little fear compared to the rest of us. He will talk about these things. But you know, we shouldn't live in a spirit of fear to call a spade or to call a situation what it is. But because we've gotten to this point where we can't even dialogue about it, you know, it is different. It's a different kind of persecution from what the church in Smyrna, you know, experienced. And almost in some ways, it's almost worse. Granted, what's worse than losing your life, as many of them did? I know that's a terrible thing. But what we do in today's society is we steal your voice.
Right.
And we discredit your character and who you are. They would just kill you, which is terrible in its own right.
Right.
But now, you know, what we do to people is we shun them, you know, which is, you know, it used to be a thing, I guess, Middle Ages and stuff, they would do the shunning. But now that's really what we do is, yes, you've been shunned. So, Aaron, what were you going to say, buddy? I could see it bubbling.
Oh, I was just thinking about Pastor Tim's initial opening of that clip, where he said it was he felt bad, or it was silly. He felt like he was silly to have to say there's only, you know, one God to serve or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that's I know why he said it, but it's a very, I don't know, limited view. I don't think Tim has a limited view, but I think it comes from a place of, well, we've always known this to be true. No, that's a very historic thing to have to remind people that you are not the center of your universe.
Yeah, right.
Or the thing you hold in great esteem, whether it be a leader like the Roman leader.
Yeah.
Every
right.
leader historically is that way. Babylon, I mean, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, if we want to go really far back.
Yeah, right.
The kings throughout England. Just look at all the really nasty leaders. Even some of the good leaders didn't, you know, they weren't always totally righteous.
Right.
David.
Right.
David. But, so yeah, I know what you all were saying there it was good and true, but for him to make that apology, it was like, no, I mean, that's something that we battle with all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a couple different ways to hear it, right?
Yeah.
I hear it as, man, it's silly that I even have to say this. Like,
Yeah.
kind of.
But is it true?
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's assuming
yeah,
that everybody in your audience knows that to be true.
right.
And that is a bad place to be. If you know that every single person in your church knows that to be true, then there's nobody new here.
Yeah.
There's nobody that needs Jesus.
To be fair, we do have online too, and
Yep.
hopefully there's loads of different types of people from different walks of life. But also, I interpreted that I think maybe even a little bit different than you did. Like, it doesn't feel good that the state of our world is the way that it is.
Sure.
And I didn't view it as an apology so much as just like, it doesn't feel great that like
Yeah.
you have to say it, that it's something that you really feel like people need to hear. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Ideally,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to say it. But even like, we all could use that reminder. Like, how many of us idolize these?
Right.
Fair.
And like, that's something I really struggle with, is like, I constantly want to be on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm working on it, trying to. But like, we all have idols in our lives,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in different forms. And that, you know, we are worshiping things outside of God. So I think it's a good reminder, even just to look at it as more introspective. Like, what are we
I agree.
Yeah.
worshiping over?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
I
good.
completely agree.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna do something crazy. We're gonna skip over the next clip to get to the last clip, so don't adjust your screens. This will look weird.
When we remain, but the first thing is faith and deeds. But here's the problem, and I need you to hear this. I really do. So many of the teachings of Jesus have been politicized. And so that means that sometimes when a person talks about the teachings of Jesus, a person's reaction can be, well, that's political. But the truth is that no, it's the teachings of Jesus. You need an example. I'll give you an example. He says to feed the hungry. Now, I don't need to tell you all the different ways that feeding the hungry has been politicized. You know them. You know the laws. You know the rules. You see it in the media. You can see all kinds of things. Money's taken from here and put here. People are left without. People have too much. All of these things have been politicized. But Jesus says, feed the poor. Feed the hungry. No caveat. Not if it aligns with your political beliefs. Not if the person is up to snuff and what you believe they should be doing or being. It says feed them. And so even though the world has politicized it, we can't stand idly by and act like Jesus didn't say it. Our faith and our deeds are informed by Jesus, not by politics.
All right. Did not want to go. I thought this was a great
Yes.
thing that Pastor Tim talked about. Did not want to get through this evening with our last remaining minutes here without us getting to look at that clip and talk about that even for just a moment.
Right.
So any thoughts, Emily? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. Like,
Yeah, right? That was a lot.
like, I mean, we talk about this subject in different forms all the time, especially from our church. And might I just say, I'm so proud of that list that you made.
Me too.
Like, seeing it, like, written out like that, I'm so proud of it. I'm proud of our church. I think when it comes to that topic in particular, like, how many times do we hear people talk about, like, well, I'm not giving that homeless person money because
They
of
might
what
go-
they're going to go
Yeah.
through with it. I just hate that mentality so much. I understand it. I understand how they got there, but I feel like it's like you're hiding behind a hardened heart. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, you're viewing them not as a human, you're viewing them as a burden, as a problem that, you not giving them that money is going to somehow solve their addiction problems. That's not how it works.
Right.
So I think, like, it's not up to us to decide who is and isn't worthy of that. And so many times, like, you could feed this. Let's say we have, like, a really terrible person that you think is just awful, murderer, someone really, really bad in our society, right? You might feed them multiple times. They're still a bad person, but then who's to say that one time that it might click for them? Like, okay, there's something.
Right.
There's something to this Jesus that they talk about.
And then, like, even if it doesn't, it's like Jesus
Yeah.
still said to feed them.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
that could happen at any time.
It can happen at any time.
Yeah.
I think
and it
that-
won't start until they at least try.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the best part of the quote or of the clip that Pastor Tim says is these were the words of Jesus with no caveat.
Right.
What are you going to do with that message? Whether you agree or disagree, you proclaim that you believe in Jesus, that you follow Jesus. What do you do as someone who says I believe in the things that this man teaches with a statement like, hey, you need to feed the poor?
Right.
Oh, well, I guess that means I either believe him enough to say, yeah, I should do those things regardless of the outcome, or, oh, well, I don't know if I agree with that. Okay, well, then what else don't you agree with? And
Right.
can we count the ways?
Yeah.
Brandy, any thoughts?
I think it's very interesting that through the entire ministry of Jesus and the whole time he was here on earth, he spent all of his time trying to convince his followers of what he was here for. And the whole time they just kept waiting on him to step up and lead a political revolt.
Right.
So the thing that he spent his 3 years in ministry leading them away from, we're still going back to it now. And he came out and told them, that's not what I'm here for.
Right.
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 Yeah.
That's a good point.
She doesn't talk often, but when she
When she
does
does,
talk,
it's
usually
good.
it's usually
Yeah.
pretty
But
good.
I think people don't want to hear that.
They don't want to hear that.
They don't hear that
don't.
because we're
It's
so
easier to
especially-
politicize it all.
especially in America. People
Right.
don't
Yeah.
want to hear that because I think that I have a very unconventional view of politics. I'm not going to go into all those.
That's good because we don't have time.
But I think that people don't want to hear it because it means that sometimes politics doesn't fix those things, and really the only thing that can fix it is Jesus.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I think? politics, if we politicize it, I can say that you're wrong, but if we put it all on Jesus, it's us.
Yeah.
And people don't want to say I'm the problem. They
Right.
want to say everyone
This
else.
is the problem.
Absolutely.
Right.
Or they have to get uncomfortable. And
Yeah,
people don't,
people don't
especially in
like it.
America, they don't want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
Da-da-da.
we want you all to feel comfortably uncomfortable as we wrap this up. First of all, thank you so much to Miss Emily Brumback for hanging out with us. Yes, applause, applause. She did an excellent job, as I knew she would. Yeah, some really good insights from everybody tonight. This was good stuff. Really enjoying Pastor Tim's sermon so far this series on the 7 churches, and we've got many more to go. So please make sure that you're tuning in and listening to all the great stuff that he's saying. He's given some great history lessons about each of the churches, which we weren't able to cover all that tonight. So please go back and watch them.
That's good.
Yeah, because that stuff's important. Let me pray for you, and then we'll shut her down for the evening. Dear Lord Jesus, just come before you right now, God, and I'm so thankful for everybody that's watching this evening, God. Whether it's the first time they've watched us or the 15th or 20th time, God, you have so much to teach us, and you speak through our pastor, through our pastors, our pastoral staff, as they try to help us get through the Bible and understand it. And we're not afraid of the hard topics here at the Journey Church. And I'm so thankful for that, God, that we're willing to talk about some of the difficult things that are in there and meet them head on. Lord, I just pray that you would just bless every single person, God, whether they're getting ready to go to bed or they're getting ready to go into work or, wherever they're at in their day or their evening, God, just bless them and take care of them, Lord, like I know you do. Lord, I just pray a special blessing over everybody that's in this room here tonight, that we'd all be safe as we go home. And thank you for fixing our roof today, God, at our church. The leaks may finally stop, and we're excited to see without water dripping down on our heads during a service. It will be amazing. Lord, we love you so much. We're so thankful that we get an opportunity to sit around and grow in your word and talk about it. And I pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
And amen. All right, everybody. Have a good evening. We love you all so very, very much.